future. Get ready for the ride. We're going down to hell tonight, so strap yourself inside. There's a glaring contradiction in your world that's made of glass. Something small can shatter it and nail you to the past. The road beneath your wheels, the madness that you feel. Oh, you will pay with your life.
Welcome to the Metal Voice. Today on the show, the much anticipated new album by Queensryche, Condition Human. Giles, what's going on?
Hey man, what's going on, Jimmy? How are you? Feeling good?
I was going to say Human Condition, but then it's Condition Human. Condition Human, Queensryche.
Condition Human. What does that mean?
I don't know. It's the opposite of Human Condition. Let's get on with the album review. The new Queensryche, minus Jeff Tate, you know, they came out with their first album a few years back. It was not bad. It wasn't my favorite album, but it wasn't horrible either. It was pretty good. It was a good start.
Good
And
stuff.
now they have their new album called Condition Human. So tell me your thoughts about Condition Human, then I'll tell you mine, Giles.
In one word, disappointment.
Really?
Absolutely. I thought that the last one was definitely a step in the right direction, showed some signs of promise, had some strong hooks. Not all the songs were winners. There was a handful there that were really good, and I thought, okay, that's a little, you know, obviously they kind of rushed it, and Tate threw his one out. They wanted to get theirs out. There was a battle for the name.
Yep.
And I thought they'd really kind of nail it this time and give us something that was, you know, like classic Queensryche. But honestly, dude, I'm still not hearing it. To me, this has even got less of an appeal to me than the previous one.
Okay. Well, for myself, upon first listen, I felt like you did. I was kind of disappointed. But upon multiple listens, I thought this album is a step above the last album. The last album I found, I haven't been reaching for it. I have not been reaching for it since it was released. I did like it at the beginning, but I find that it wasn't magnetic enough for me. It just didn't come to me. You know, it just didn't come to me. I was putting other albums on instead. This album, however, the more times I listen to it, I like it. I kind of like it, and I think they're breaking out into their own. The last album had a very thin production. This one is more full, and there are a lot of standout tracks. I would agree with you on one thing. I think Todd, the vocalist, the new vocalist, he needs to find his own sort of voice. You know, it's great that he can sing like Jeff Tate, but do we really want to hear Jeff Tate? We want to hear something like Jeff Tate, but we want to hear him come to his own. Do you agree with that?
100%. I think at this point they're an exceptionally talented cover band, and I mean that in the best possible way. What I mean by that is I went to see them last week and they blew me away. Fantastic. But the moment the new album comes out, the songs just are not there for me. It's like they're missing that key writer. You know, that key writer used to be either Jeff Tate or Chris DeGarmo, neither of who seem to be able to compose in the same way that they used to, whether they're together or independent of each other. Not that Chris has done much lately. But I'm just not hearing the songs, not of the quality that I would expect from Queensryche and a much celebrated return to form. Sonically, it sounds great. You know, musically, it sounds great. This is in the right style. This is of the right kind of thing. But I'm just not hearing the hooks. Where are the choruses? Where is something that's as good as what you're going to hear on Rage for Order or Operation Mindcrime? If any of these songs were on those albums, they would probably be B-sides. Except for a song called Bulletproof that I think is fantastic. That's the only song on the whole record for me that I would say is in line with the classic 80s Queensryche compositionally.
When I put this album on and people ask me, so what does this new album sound like? And I say it doesn't sound like any of their albums. It sounds like a continuation of the last album, but, you know, more diverse. You know, I hear a lot of time changes. I hear a lot of suspended chords that they use, you know, during Rage for Order, a lot of minor key stuff. They're changing it up, and I kind of like it. And I think the next album they're going to just take it even a step beyond that. They're finding their own way, and slowly. I don't know. I like this album. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I don't think it was the best Queensryche album out there, but I think they did a lot better this time around than last time around. Standout tracks: Arrow of Time. I don't know. I didn't like it upon first listen, but the more times I listen to it, it just grows on me. And I agree with you with Bulletproof. Probably the best track on the album. I also like Guardian. You know, that sounds like something off of Rage Forder.
Guardian's good, yeah, I like Guardian. I mean, I don't want to sound too negative about this, but I thought the last record was better.
Okay.
And I thought it was establishing the lineup. It was kind of like, I saw it more like an EP, because it was so short. And I thought, okay, this shows hints of what's going to come. And I was just expecting an absolute knockout. The way that Accept kind of came blasting back.
Well, I, for one, like this album. I put this at 8.5 out of 10. I think this is a real grower, and I think there's a lot of good elements, and I see they've been progressing, and they're coming to their own as a group. Hourglass, Hellfire, these are two great songs, Condition Human, Guardian, and like you said, Bulletproof. There's not a lot of fast tracks on this album, that's for sure. There's no like speedy, speed metal like songs. They're more mid-paced, and there's a lot of time changes, like I mentioned, a lot of key changes, a lot of high vocals, a lot of very high vocals, but overall a very pleasant album. So there you have it. Giles, any last comments?
Pleasant would be a nice word, but I wanted to be knocked out. I wanted to be knocked on my ass.
Well, there you have it. Queensryche's new album, Human Condition or Condition Human? I say Condition Human.
Condition Human.
Condition Human. Anyways, catch you next time on The Metal Voice.